Good morning, children.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We are going to start the term 1 revision today, and you have altogether 11 chapters for this academic year, and 5 are included in the first term, 6 are included in the second term. You know all that, but still I'll repeat it once again. Chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Chapter 3, human reproduction. Chapter 4, reproductive health. Chapter 5, principles of inheritance and variation. And finally, chapter 6, molecular basis of inheritance, a chapter which we just completed last day. So I thought of starting with that chapter, last chapter, because already you have just completed it. So it is better, and that too, it is the lengthiest chapter. It might take time for completing the revision. So I thought we'll first start with this one, because other chapters, at least once you had written a test, you had revised and written a test. So this chapter, we have to take a little more care. And even in the MCQ question said by CBSE, I had forwarded in the group, and everyone, you cannot give any excuse. Everyone should take a print of both the question paper, the sample question paper, as well as the answer key. And why it is? Because the pattern has changed, not like last year. So you should be familiar with the pattern. So just by seeing the mobile, rather than doing that, you take a printout of the same and just see how the scheme is, how the pattern is. And only then, otherwise you will have confusion when you're attempting for the test. Definitely you all will have to take a printout of the same and just go through the question paper. I'm not saying to learn those question answers by heart. Sometimes, usually from the sample paper, not even one question will be asked. It is just a pattern. They have included some questions to make us understand how will be the pattern of question paper. It's not that the questions from there will be repeated. Chances are very less for that. So just to make you understand how many questions will be there, how many questions you need to answer, and what will be the pattern. To know all that, definitely you should take a copy of the same. Not only for biology, for all the subjects, it is better to take a copy and file it so that you can refer. And children, you will have 60 questions. 60 multiple choice questions will be there, and you need to attempt only 50 questions out of that. The first attempted questions will be valued. There'll be 3 subdivisions. So 3 sections will be there. And the first section will have 24 questions. You will have to answer any 20 from that. Then second section, section B, there also 24 questions. You will have to answer 20. And the section C consists of 12 questions, out of which you have to answer 10. So altogether 50. And marks is, total marks is, can anybody say the test is out of how many marks? Nobody knows?
35.
Yes?
35.
It's out of 40 marks, isn't it? So the test will be out of 40 marks. And 0.8 marks for each question, and there are no negative markings. Okay, you understood the scheme or the pattern? And I'll share the screen. First, we will be discussing the sample question paper, just to get an idea about the different sections, how many questions you need to answer, what are the type of questions. So we, as I said, we are going to start with the chapter molecular basis of inheritance. So all the questions based on this chapter in the sample question paper we'll discuss first, and then after that we'll see more of such questions from the same chapter. Shall we start? And I want everyone, rather than sitting idle, I want you to have a notebook with you. If you don't have, you can go take it and come, and a pen. You are going to note down. You might be having the printout of the same. You might be having so many guides. Let it be there. But I want you to concentrate, and for that, you have to note down with the date. You can write biology, this particular chapter, molecular basis of inheritance, and today's date, and write down the questions. You will get enough time. Whether you have this paper at home or not, that is different thing. And how you're solving it out, you can try out there. And later when you refer, it will be useful. Not only for today, every day, all the questions that we are going to discuss, you are going to note it down. I will ask you to submit the notebook where you are writing, or I will ask you to lift it and show me. No excuse for that. And if anybody wants to take your notebook, pen, whatever it is, you can go take it and come, no problem. And for those who have joined late, children, when the time is given as 8:30, maximum you can be late for 5 minutes, not beyond that. And revision classes, it's more important. So I want you all to be on time. If 8:30 is the time, 8:29, you should be online. So next time, don't give me a chance to say this. And those who joined late, I had told everyone to have a notebook with you to note down all the questions that we are discussing. Don't say that I have the printout of the same. You might have, you keep it aside, but now you write it down. Time is 90 minutes for attempting these 50 questions. You have 90 minutes. And children, the questions are very tricky. And I think in the sample paper, the questions which are given are not that difficult, but it can be very tricky, and it will be offline exam. Understand the seriousness, and please involve actively. Please do revise and come when I'm giving you a topic. So time is 90 minutes. The question paper has got 3 sections. The question paper has got, already I told you, and I'm repeating it for those who joined late. 3 sections are there in the question paper. Section A will have 24 questions, but you need to attempt only 20. The first attempted 20 questions will be valued. Then section B, 24 questions, you have to answer 20 questions. Section C, again 12 questions, you have to attempt only 10. And each question carries 0.8 marks. There is no negative marking. So you don't have to worry about negative marking. You can attempt all the questions. So we'll start with the first one, section A. And from section A, all the questions based on this chapter we are going to discuss. Yes, question number 14. Which of the following amino acid substitution is responsible for causing sickle cell anemia? Even though it is included under principles of inheritance and variation, here also in this particular chapter also we are learning about the same. So I'll just give you a few seconds and you can find out the answer. Read the options carefully. Read the options carefully and then find out the answer. This one is very easy, not very difficult. You can easily answer it. Which of the following amino acid substitution is responsible for causing sickle cell anemia? The first option, valine is substituted by glutamic acid in the alpha globin chain at the 6th position. Valine is substituted by glutamic acid in the beta globin chain at the 7th position. Glutamic acid is substituted by valine in the alpha globin chain at the 6th position. Glutamic acid is substituted by valine in the beta globin chain at the 6th position. So it is very important that you read the textbook carefully. Even if you're missing out the position, you might be knowing which amino acid is substituting and which chain also you know. But if you don't know at which position, then you can make mistake. So it is very important that you read the textbook thoroughly. Who will tell me the answer? Punya, what is the correct answer?
D.
D. D is the correct answer. Glutamic acid is substituted by, it is replaced by valine, and that is in the beta globin chain of hemoglobin at the 6th position. So correct answer is D. D is the correct option. Now we are moving on to the next question. You need time to copy it down. Have you noted it down? Which of the following amino acid substitution is responsible for causing sickle cell anemia? It's a comparatively very easy question. Glutamic acid is substituted by valine in the beta globin chain at the 6th position. Okay, now question number 18. Next, you can see question number 18. Which of the following criteria, you can note it down, children. Which of the following criteria must a molecule fulfill to act as a genetic material? It should be able to generate its replica. It should be chemically and structurally stable. It should not allow slow mutation. It should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. And each distractor and the correct answer is there. A, B, C, D. There two options they have included. So read it carefully and find out the answer. Which are the following criterion? Out of the 4 criteria, which are the criteria that must be fulfilled by a molecule to act as a genetic material? Sania?
2 and 4.
Yes? 2 and
2, 4.
that means which is the correct option?
D.
D. And why your video is off?
Ma'am, I joined from my mobile.
So one by one we will see. First one, it should not be able to generate its replica. It is wrong. It should be able to generate. It should be able to generate its replica. Second one, it should be chemically and structurally stable. That's a correct option. In your textbook, the different criteria are listed. It should not allow slow mutation. It should allow. It should permit slow mutation. So that's third statement is also wrong. Fourth one, it should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. That is also a correct criterion. So 2 and 4. So D is the correct option. Now moving on to the 19th question. 19th one. The promoter site and terminator site for transcription are located at. Read it carefully. The promoter site and terminator site for transcription are located at 3' end and 5' end respectively, 5' end and 3' end respectively of the transcription unit, the 5' end of the transcription unit, the 3' end of the transcription unit. And what is the correct option? My last, whether out of these 4, which is the correct option?
B.
B is the correct option, because you know that promoter is always located at the beginning, that is 5' end, and terminator at the 3' end. Hence B is the correct answer. Promoter will be at the 5' end and terminator will be at the 3' end. Now next one, question number 20. You need time to take down the questions and answers. Let me know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where did you reach, Steffi?
Ma'am, I'm writing the 19th question.
Which one?
19.
Okay. By the time others can see question number 20. If anybody, see, after discussing a particular question, if anybody has got doubt, if it is not understood, I know many of you have missed the classes. If you have any confusion, you can ask me to explain it, okay? Otherwise, I'll proceed. I'll be under the, I'll feel that you have understood. That is why you're not asking any doubts. Which of the following is correct about mature RNA in eukaryotes? Exons and introns do not appear in the mature RNA. Exons appear, but introns do not appear in the mature RNA. Introns appear, but exons do not appear in the mature RNA. both exons and introns appear in mature RNA? Sharon?
Ma'am, B.
D.
Exons appear, but introns do not.
Why? You give me the reason also. You give me the explanation. Why you said so? Sharon, why you chose that option? Where have you gone? Sharon is not there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, after some process, they will be
Ah,
cut right.
correct,
Introns will be
correct,
removed
correct.
and
Yes.
exons will be.
Yes. So as soon as the children, I'm seeing many of your videos off. I told you I'll post your names in the class group. If you have any connectivity issue, you let me know that I'll confirm with your parents. Otherwise, you have to turn your videos on. And from today onwards, the things are not going to be that easy for you. Meenakshi, Bijoy, Lydia. See, in primary transcript, what is primary transcript? As soon as transcription process is over, the RNA that we get is known as primary transcript. It has got one more name. Meenakshi, what is the other name for primary transcript? Forgot. Correct. Say hetero. Forgot. Who can help her? Michael, what is the other name for primary transcript? Is there anyone who can remember it and tell me? I'm waiting. Heterogeneous nuclear RNA. And this primary transcript or hnRNA will undergo certain processes before it can become, before it becomes mature RNA. Those processes are splicing, capping, tailing. And primary transcript will have both exons and introns. Introns are interrupting sequences. So these introns will be removed and exons only will be joined together to form mature RNA. That is why it is said exons will appear, but introns do not appear, because by the splicing process, introns are removed. Okay. So as soon as the RNA is formed, or as soon as the primary transcript or hnRNA is formed, the exons and introns will be there. But later, to convert it into, to change it into the mature RNA, some processes are taking place like splicing, capping, tailing. So in splicing, the introns are removed and exons are joined together. So B is the correct option, because exons will appear, but introns are removed by the splicing process. Question number 21. Read it. In E. coli bacteria, the lac operon gets switched on. When? When is the lac operon getting switched on? It can switch off and switch on. When is it getting switched on? Or when the lactose metabolism is taking place properly. Who will answer? Rijas?
A, ma'am.
A.
Lactose is present and it binds to the repressor.
Okay. Why you said it is A? Why it can't be D?
Otherwise, repressor will bind with the operator.
Yes, exactly. And the process will not take place. So when lactose is present, you had already learned how the a process is taking place in the presence of an inducer and in the absence of inducer. Inducer is lactose. Lactose is the inducer for a lac operon. So in lac operon, when lactose is present, it will go bind with the repressor and makes it inactive. So lactose will bind with the repressor and the repressor will become inactive. So when it is inactive, it cannot bind with the operator. And the process, the transcription process will take place smoothly. But if lactose is present and binding to RNA polymerase, it is not binding to RNA polymerase. RNA polymerase is binding to the promoter site. So if the process has to take place, lactose should bind with repressor. What for? To make it inactive. If the repressor is not made inactive, it will go bind with the operator lying next to promoter. And as a result, transcription of the genes cannot take place. The different genes, X, Y, A, all these genes cannot get transcribed and the lactose metabolism cannot take place. So the correct option is A. 21, the correct option is A. Now moving on to the, you see, now you might have seen how many questions are asked from this particular chapter. More are there. So it is very important chapter. That is why we thought of starting with this one. Oswald Avery, Colin MacLeod, and Macklin McCarthy. You know, these three are scientists, used enzymes to purify. Steffi, Nidhi, Naureen, Sania. Children, I can see you whether I am using the board or not. I can see you very clearly. Oswald Avery, Colin MacLeod, Macklin McCarthy, they used enzymes to purify biochemicals such as proteins, DNA, and RNA from the heat-killed S cells. Nidhi, heat-killed S cells to see which one could transform live R cells into S cells. R strain and S strain, I hope you know which one is virulent and which one is not virulent. In Griffith's experiment, they observed that. So this conversion, so living R cells transformed into S cells. And this process was inhibited by proteases and RNases, DNase, proteases and lipases, RNases. Which is the correct option? They use different enzymes at a time. I see in one step they used only enzymes, that is proteases, then DNases, RNases. And my question is, which one, which of the enzyme can prevent the transformation of these R cells into S cells? Punya?
DNase.
DNase. Give me the reason also.
It will spoil the DNA so that it cannot transform.
Yes. So actually DNA is a genetic material. DNA is responsible for the transformation. Okay. So DNA is bringing about this transformation, not proteins or RNA. So proteases and RNA. Proteases are the enzymes which will break down proteins. RNases will break down RNA. So even if proteins and RNA are broken down, it is not affecting the transformation because they are not the genetic material here. Then DNase, it will break down DNA. So if DNA is damaged, transformation cannot take place because it is the DNA which is the reason. That is a genetic material which brought about the transformation. Proteases and lipases. Lipases will break down lipids or fats. So that also will not affect because proteases and lipases, they are acting on proteins and lipids. Even if these substances are broken down, it is not going to affect the transformation. RNases. Here the genetic material is DNA. So RNA, if it is broken down also, it is not going to affect its transformation. It is a simple question, easy question. But don't expect such easy questions always. And so many diagram based questions are also given. I'll wait for you to take it down. Children, why I'm insisting you to write it down is only when you write, you can understand it better. The concept will be clear. If you just listen, in between you will get distracted. But if you're writing along with that, you can maintain your attention. It will be of great help for your exam. Now you will not realize. But if you're attending all the classes, and if you're making or taking benefit out of it, definitely your score will be improved, or it will be better. And I want everyone to score full marks. Moving on. Here you can see a picture. What it is a picture of which substance, which molecule? What is that clover shaped structure? Clover leaf shaped structure.
tRNA.
tRNA or transfer RNA. And you know that transfer RNA is having one. Oh, if I say that, you will be able to find out the answer. So let's see the question. After that, I will explain. AUG on messenger RNA will result in the activation of which of the following RNA having correct combination of amino acids. So AUG is a start codon. You know that. It is present on the messenger RNA. So this is the messenger RNA, and AUG is present on the messenger RNA, will activate which of these RNA having correct combination of amino acids. So 4 options are given. Okay. UAC, methionine. So site A and B. They have given. So what should come on A and what should come in the place of B? Nandana?
Option B.
Option
B.
B.
Methionine
Because
and
A. See, since it is AUG, it is a start codon. It codes for methionine. So it will be methionine here. AUG is having 2 functions. AUG is having 2 functions. It acts as the start codon, and at the same time, it codes for the amino acid methionine. And UAC, you know that this is the codon. What is present on messenger RNA is codon, and what is present on transfer RNA will be anticodon, which is complementary to the codon. And you know that the pairing is ATCG, and if it is RNA instead of T, it will be U. Now AUG, it will be matching with it. So normally what has to come? T, but here it will be U. This transfer RNA. So on RNA, wherever T has to come, it will be U, uracil. U, A, C, CG, always. The pairing is like this, ATCG, ATCG. This is the pairing. But in the case of RNA, wherever thymine has to come, it will be uracil. So in place of T, it should be U. So here it is A. So we wrote it as U. And for U, it is A. And for G, it is C. I think you all know. If anybody is having confusion with this alphabets or with this nitrogen base pairing, you can tell me. So anticodon is present on transfer RNA. Codon is present on messenger RNA. And AUG has got dual functions. It codes for methionine, and at the same time, it is the start codon. So the correct option is B. Okay, you have to read it very carefully. If you might be knowing that methionine is methionine is an amino acid, but an AUG is the start codon. But if you get confused with the positions, then the answer can go wrong. Instead of B, you might write which one? You might write A. So there also the answers are correct, but the positions are interchanged. So you have to be very thorough about the position. Where is the amino acid attached and where will be the anticodon? So the anticodon will be attaching to the codon present on messenger RNA. Just a minute. Nidhi, Nevin, Sania. I told you I am always seeing whether your videos are on or not. It is not like usual class time. This time I'm very strict. I will not permit you to turn the video off. Maybe on the spot, I will call your parent and find out whether there is any connectivity issue over there. Don't make me do all that. Nevin, are you there? Nevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Turn your video on.
I'll turn on a moment.
Oh, you said
Turn
something?
on.
You messaged me. I'm not able to hear what you're saying. Okay, now moving on to next. 24th question. Short stretches of DNA, short fragments or short segments of DNA used to identify complementary sequence in a sample are known as, Naureen?
Probes.
Probes. So where is probes used? Where did we learn about probes, Naureen? In which context we learned?
In genome sequencing.
Yes?
Genome sequencing.
No. Probes are used, hybridization of VNTR probes. The DNA fragments are hybridized using VNTR probes and then they are subjected to autoradiography. Where did we learn, Naureen?
DNA fingerprinting.
Yes, DNA fingerprinting. So probes are short sequences of DNA. They will help in identifying complementary sequence in a sample. So in DNA fingerprinting, we learned that VNTR, variable number tandem repeats. So DNA fragments, once the DNA fragments are there or they are separated, like they were double stranded, they are made into single stranded and they are lying in the agarose gel, and from the agarose gel we are transferring it into a nitrocellulose paper and we subject it to, or it is exposed to these probes, or the probes are added, and what will happen, all the, just a minute, the probes with complementary sequences will go and identify these DNA fragments and they get hybridized. And later, these are radioactively labeled. And with the help of these radioactive probes, we can visualize these DNA fragments or VNTRs, or these DNA repetitive sequences of DNA can be visualized. So the correct option is probe.
Ma'am, between A and C, I have a doubt.
A and C. Wait a
Yes,
minute.
ma'am.
This one.
Ma'am.
VNTR means variable number tandem repeat, those repetitive sequences. If it was written VNTR probe, then we would have gone for that option. VNTR probe means a segment of DNA which is complementary to VNTR. In your textbook, it is written VNTR probe. Okay, that probe is complementary to VNTR. Actually, in DNA fingerprinting, we are focusing only on those repetitive sequences because I told it is not easy to sequence the entire genome. Instead, we are focusing only on those repetitive sequences. And these repetitive sequences are VNTR. And we call it as VNTR because it varies from individual to individual, except in the case of identical twins. Okay. And we need to know, like when you have to compare the DNA of two different person, we will just find out or carry out DNA fingerprinting, and we see how many times these segments or these sequences are repeated. The number of times it is getting repeated will be different for different individuals. So VNTR probe means the sequence of DNA which is complementary to VNTR. But if it is said VNTR alone, that is not that are not used to identify complementary sequences in a sample. Here probe is used with an intention. Probes are used with an intention because we can radioactively label probes. And if the DNA fragments are there alone, we have separated out VNTRs. We cannot visualize them without making them label radioactively. So first it has to be radioactively labeled, only then you can visualize. So we are making use of probes which are complementary to VNTR. Got it, Punya?
So ma'am, the blue which you have marked is actually VNTR.
Yes. Blue color is VNTR, our DNA fragments.
Okay.
We have broken up the fragments. And red color is VNTR. VNTR is going and pairing with them, because they are having complementary sequences. So it is written, if it is simply written short stretches of DNA with repetitive sequences, then definitely VNTR. Actually, VNTR is not that short stretch when compared to the other one. We also learned those which are having short repeats, short tandem repeats, and variable number tandem repeats are longer than that. But still, if it is mentioned that these are repetitive sequences, out of all the other options, VNTR is the correct option. But here, the short stretches of DNA which we are using for identifying the complementary sequences. So in the DNA fingerprinting, so when in that sample we have our VNTRs. So these probes will identify those fragments with complementary sequences. Okay, Punya? Yes, okay.
Yes,
Now we'll proceed to, I don't think we have much time. It's already time, it's 9:15. It's already time. So section B, we will discuss in the next class. Children, I want your wholehearted cooperation. Only then we can bring out a change. Our intention is to make you score maximum marks. So please don't, when I'm saying you to turn your video on, don't feel bad. You will realize it later. You will thank me later. So you will understand that it is because I insisted like that, you were forced to concentrate, and that is why I could get such a good score. So you will realize it later. I'm happy to see that now all your videos are turned on. You also cooperate. Together we can make a change. I alone cannot do anything. So if you're cooperating in next class, we have one more period. So in the next period, I will tell you tomorrow what you need to come prepared. So not tomorrow means Monday. What you need to do is you have to prepare. Each one should prepare minimum 5 questions from that particular topic. So we will have a discussion of the sample questions. Apart from that, so you will come to know how to frame, what pattern of questions can come from that particular topic. So minimum 5, each one can frame and come, so that we will discuss here. So some of the questions might come, who knows? You people are also, I have seen that some children, they are very good at setting questions. We have tried it in lower classes, so they are very good at setting questions. So sometimes some of these questions can come. So, and not only that, you will learn when you're reading, you will concentrate properly in it, because you have to frame a question. So hope it will benefit you. And one more period is there. So the sample, you might have seen how many questions are asked from the same chapter. So understand the significance, understand the weightage of this chapter. And it is a bit lengthy also. So from next class onwards, I'll tell you the topic. Today, just a beginning session. So that is why I did not tell you to revise a particular topic and come. I'll break it into small topics so that you can learn it thoroughly. But do learn and come. Whenever a small topic, it is for you only, children. So this 2 months, you should make it, use it fruitfully. Only then your score can be better. Otherwise, it will be pure wastage of time, both for me as well as for you. Okay. So we'll see next period. Thank you, children. See you next period.